Hi, my name is Daresha Kyi. I am the co-director of the movie Chavela, about the badass, iconic lesbian singer Chavela Vargas, and this is Your Living City.
Yo quiero luz de luna para mi noche triste.
Chavela sintetiza toda la festividad de la canción mexicana y lo vuelve el canto del alma herida.
Si eres lesbiana, estás marginada. Y yo me puse pantalones y el público se quedó callado. Mujeres y hombres tenían que ver conmigo, todos.
Solamente decía que ella nunca iba a mencionar el nombre de sus grandes amores, pero sí sabemos que fue con todo México.
Era un alcoholismo severo. Podía ser violenta.
El alcoholismo es una enfermedad, es una dependencia del alma, una enfermedad de soledad, de abandono, de estar rodeado de muchas gentes y al final nada.
La gente realmente creía que estaba muerta, creía que ella había muerto en el olvido.
Chavela Vargas. Chavela Vargas vive.
Al menos tu recuerdo ponga luz sobre mi bruma.
La voz de Chavela me ha hecho llorar muchas veces y en esa voz he encontrado, yo creo que una de mis mejores interlocutoras.
La verdad en la vida se impone siempre. Cuesta mucho, sufres mucho, pero sales adelante.
First of all, why Chavela?
Oh my God, why Chavela Vargas? Catherine, my co-director, had shot footage of her in 1991, which forms basically the spine that runs through the film. It's the interview of Chavela with a young group of lesbians sitting around talking. And she also had shot one of Chavela by herself behind the stage at El Habito Bar Cabaret in Coyoacán, Mexico. And she was just so powerful. So honest, so charming, funny, smart. Her language was so poetic. And then I saw her perform, and then I read about her. And once I did the research and found out that she had lived this wild roller coaster ride of a life, that she was this sexual outlaw, this pioneer, this adventurous woman who dared to be herself in a time when it was actually dangerous to be a butch, you know. Chavela went on stage wearing pants and a poncho, smoking cigars, drinking tequila, and singing love songs to women in the 40s. She was a badass. You know, in those days, in the 40s and 50s, she didn't go around saying, I'm a lesbian. That was not socially acceptable. But she didn't have to say it because she lived it. She got on stage looking the way she looked, doing what she did, and people knew. You know, you just didn't talk about it. You know, in polite society, we didn't say those things. But Chavela didn't need to say it. She was living it. She was like, you know, clearly who she was.
This is what you see, this is what you get.
Exactly. She was what you see is what you get. And what you got was somebody who poured their heart and soul into music and their pain, you know, who used their pain to transform their art to another level, you know, and to move people. I think, you know, one of the things that I wanted was for people to hear her sing and feel what she was able to transmit, which was a very profound cathartic experience. You know, there's an interview with Pedro Almodóvar and Laura Garcia Lorca, who is the niece of Federico Garcia Lorca, where they talk about the first concert that she did in Spain when she was making her comeback, and how people ran to the bathrooms to get rolls of toilet paper because they were crying so much. And even now, one of the things that has moved me the most about having had the honor to make this film is how much it moves people. How many people come up to me after the film with tears in their eyes or tears streaming down their face saying, thank you so much, you know, or speechless. I've had men come up to me crying and just be like,
Oh.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know, okay. And then they're like, and they walk away. I'm like, okay.
It's powerful.
It's the highest compliment you could ever get as a filmmaker. When we went to Mexico, I thought, oh boy, here we go. You know, like two gringas made a movie about, you know, this Mexican icon, beloved Chavela Vargas, you know, people are going to give us hell. They were like, thank you so much, you know. And one day someone said to us, you know, maybe it had to be an outsider.
When you make a documentary, it's always like a journey. It's just like life, because you're also exploring life. And you begin at a ground level of knowledge, and as you go, talking to people, filming, it evolves until you complete the documentary. How was this journey with Chavela from beginning to end? What changed?
So in the beginning, when we first started the project, I was going to produce and Catherine was going to direct, telling Chavela's story through the eyes of another lesbian Latina singer who struggled with addiction, who identified very strongly with Chavela. And we actually cut a trailer that we actually went and shot with that woman, who was a very talented singer. And we took the footage to a market in New York called the Independent Feature Market, or the Independent Film Market. And we talked to distributors, and we talked to programmers, and we talked to funders. Their eyes would light up when we talk about her relationship with Frida, or that she was Pedro Almodovar's muse, or, they would just be like, what? You need to make this film just about her. At that point, Catherine was making 2 other films at the same time. One she was producing and one she was directing and producing. So she was making 3 films simultaneously. So I kind of took the lead in recutting that trailer. And we put that out, and I was like, you know what, I'm not just producing, I feel like I'm co-directing. And she was like, thank you, God, thank you. Yeah. I'm so grateful that you're willing to do this, and it was easy. It was an easy transition. And then in terms of just the process of getting all the people and doing all the research, it was a journey. It is a journey to figure out what's the most important thing to focus on. Like, for example, when we first started the film, we thought that we had to use footage of the Frida Kahlo movie, Frida, that Julie Taymor shot with Salma Hayek. Because there's a scene in there where Chavela sings to Salma, Frida, and she sings La Llorona, right? Yeah. And we thought, well, this is the way that most Americans, if they know Chavela, this is the point of entry for them. So we have to have this, and we have to have an interview with Salma Hayek. Well, we didn't get the interview with Salma Hayek, but at the same time, eventually we realized we didn't need that scene at all because we actually skipped those years in her life. And then the other thing I think was that I felt and I still feel very connected to Chavela's spirit, and I feel like she was guiding us from start to finish as we made this film. She was very instrumental in opening certain doors and connecting us with certain people that we probably would not have found otherwise. So to have made the film and then have it take off the way it has done, it has surpassed my wildest dreams. Yeah. The film has just been so well received. We've won all kinds of audience awards and grand jury prizes, and even more important than that, I just feel like the film has touched so many hearts and encouraged so many people, and it has come at such an important time. We didn't plan it to be right at the crossroads of what's happening in the United States right now with our crazy president and our crazy administration who are trying to take away the rights of women, immigrants, people of color, LGBTQ people, just like the film is a touchstone for all of those issues. It is much more political than we knew.
It makes me feel so proud, like I am addressing this situation also. I am talking to these people,
yes.
The outcasts.
Yes.
It's a message.
Yes.
La penumbra va.
Ella había peleado por libertades, desde música a sexualmente, sin ningún miedo.
Cuando una tibia.
La conocí detrás del escenario el día que debutó en el 92. Me quedaba sorprendido.
Y la canción acababa y decías... Empezaba otra y de nuevo era ese vacío.
Volverán las sombras.
Cuando eres verdad, al final te impones. Me llamo Chavela Vargas. Que no se les olvide.
In your bucket list of people you would like to work with now, who is it? Who is it there?
My goodness. That's a really good question. So my background is more in narrative filmmaking. And it's funny, I've already started another documentary. So I'm making a film about the ways in which conservative Christian mothers' lives are transformed when they accept their LGBT kids. They lose their friends, they lose their church. A lot of these women lose their husbands. They find themselves suddenly going from being a member of the dominant majority to being a minority. for the first time in a lot of their lives, especially if they're white women.
In a way, you're back into sort of the same subject.
Yes.
You know, the outcast, the rejection.
One of the moms that I'm working with, she went from being a Tea Party Republican to being nominated for Activist of the Year by an LGBT organization. That kind of transformation is phenomenal. Yeah. You know, and for me, those are heroines. These are my heroes. You know, these are my heroines. These are women who I'm just like, oh, you're a badass. I think that's really the theme for me is I like badasses. Yeah. I like outlaws. Yeah. I like people who have courage. I like people who stand up for what's right.
People who make changes. Who says, whatever. I'm saying no to these rules. I have my own rules, my own set of rules.
And I'm going to live by them.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. As long as you don't hurt anyone.
That's right. It's called Mama Bears.
Mama Bears.
Yes, Mamas Osas.
Mamas Osas. Love it.
Yeah, that's what they call themselves because, you know, when they become advocates, they become ferocious. Yeah. Like mother bears. Yeah. Like you don't mess with a mother bear's cubs. No. She will take you out. Yes. It's an honor to be able to tell people's stories, to share people's stories, to be chosen. Like I feel like Chavela handpicked us to make this film. You know, like her spirit was like, come on, dale, ándale, órale, hazlo. And so we're like, okay, te ayudo. Yeah. So, you know.
Now you were saying, I miss her.
I do. I just feel like, you know, now she's like an ancestor, you know, that I can call on. Yeah. Just like all my other ancestors de la sangre, or from my bloodline, she's an ancestor from my spirit line. You know, Chavela always said she was not going to die. She was going to transcend because she was a shaman. Yeah. And I believe it. I believe it very strongly because there are things that we were able to accomplish in such a short period of time that I don't think we would have been able to do without her help. So for anybody who is thinking about making a film, I would say there are a couple of things that to keep in mind. One is, yes, you need to be obsessed with your subject, whatever it is. You need to be absolutely passionately in love with it and feel like you are the person to tell that story and nobody else can tell that story the way that you will tell that story. Because it takes so much time, so much dedication, so much money, so much energy to make a film that you need to be completely obsessed, right? And then the other thing is if you are doing something that's character driven, make sure you have an amazing character. Make sure that the person that you're hanging your story on be someone that is kind of magnetic, you know, like I can't underscore that enough that the characters of your story need to be people that everybody, either they hate them, you know, or they love them, but some strong, that they evoke strong emotions, strong reactions, and that they can speak well. Yeah. And money doesn't hurt.
But if there's money, that will help.
Money helps a lot.
Yeah.
Money helps a lot. Yeah.
Great. Because that's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.